What is up, everybody? It's Sean from Fast Break Lax, and today, guys, I'm actually going to be jumping on my podcast, Inside the Crease, just myself, to kind of give you guys a little ins and outs of myself, where I started playing lacrosse, how I got to where I am today, and kind of just give you guys a little bit of the ins and outs. I'm going to show you guys my studio, of everything, how I set it up. Yeah, right now we're in my office. So again, I'm just trying to put these more videos out for you guys to get more vlogging and stuff. I want to kind of start moving more into doing this like weekly for you guys, so you guys at least have 1 or 2 every week. So yeah, with that, guys, I'll kind of show you my office. Obviously, we have the computer set up, just your basic. I mean, this is kind of a little outdated, so all you gamers and stuff out there probably know all about that. Got my screens, just my desk. Little bit of view of everything going on here, kind of the merch. It's a mess right now, guys. Got some Desert Dog stuff, the Inside the Crease posters. Got to get Shane to sign this one, but I do have Eric Turner, and then everybody else that comes through is going to be signing that. So like I said, it is a mess right now, but yeah, that's the joy of you guys going with me, man. You can see me clean it all up and all that, but no, I won't take you guys through cleaning up, but yeah, I gotta get everything set back up, guys. I just had so much time off because been doing so much stuff. I've been busy with work, been fixing the vehicles, been doing all that stuff. So yeah, it's just been a lot of hectic stuff, and I'm trying to get back to everything. So that's why today I am going to be. Yeah, so I've been beard hair in my mouth, man. Sorry, but yeah, so I've been busy, guys. I've been working on my vehicle, my full-time job. I've just been swamped. So it's been hard to get everything going. My garage is a mess. I haven't really put anybody on my podcast or anything like that, but I've been reaching out to get people coming. So now I gotta crunch down and get everything back to clean up and get everything set up for all the new guests to come. So I'm gonna kind of turn this around. You guys, again, my garage is a mess right now, and this is where my podcast studio is. And I'm showing you guys this because I like to give you guys the ins and outs of everything. So that's how it goes. Let me turn this camera around. You guys can kind of see garage. It is a mess. Floors are dirty. Like I said, I've just been working on my vehicle, all my parts, everything out here. My studio is back here. You guys can kind of see, just a little covered up. Come back in here, the little studio. Yeah, so I got some stuff to do, guys. Yeah, that's exactly, like I said, that's where my studio is. It's a budget-friendly studio, guys. I don't have the money to go rent out a building and rent a room and do all that kind of stuff. I'm working with what I got, guys. That's what happens. Yeah, but as like I was saying, I do have lineups coming. Lineups are coming, guys. I just haven't scheduled them. I pushed them because I've been so busy, and I don't want them to come to here when my place is freaking disgusting. That's not how I want to welcome people. I want them to be comfortable, happy, and have a good time here. So we're gonna be working on, like I said, the podcast. I'm about to jump on it myself just to kind of do a get to know me. So if you guys want to listen to that, tune in on Spotify, stay on this YouTube channel, and yeah. So let me get all my stuff set up, guys. I'm gonna put the camera in here, and I'll show you guys kind of how I go through setting up everything. It's not gonna be it's gonna be close to what it is when a guest is here, but not as much. I'm gonna be down one camera because the guest is not here. You're gonna see half of the podcast and everything. So we'll be working on it, and yeah, guys, so I'm going to go ahead and set this up in here. I'm going to get everything going to start recording myself. Oh, let me jump back out. It's dark in here. I haven't turned on my light. So yeah, I'm going to get in the podcast. I'm going to jump on myself. I'm going to show you guys everything, how I get everything set up, and yeah, let's get into the podcast, guys. Let's go. Hey, guys, I'm in the little podcast studio right now. I am just getting everything set up for myself so I could start recording and get this video and podcast out to you guys by tomorrow. I'm just turning on my little cameras right now that I have. I do have 3 of those, but I just need 2 for myself right now. Usually I have like one right down the middle of the table, like this angle right here. So it gets both myself and the guest, and then one camera shooting just directly right at each of us. I'll go over another video of everything that's in my podcast studio so you guys can get updated of that. But right now, like I said, I'm just setting up my podcast for myself. This is my tablet for all my cameras. So if you guys ever see me like looking at my tablet or anything, it's not looking for notes or anything. I pretty much freestyle all the podcasts. I think it's better for myself just to ask the real questions and stuff as the stories go on and as we talk, instead of just sitting here acting like it's an interview and just saying, hey, like, how do you do this, I don't want to do that. I like to freestyle it. So again, guys, I'm just setting up everything right now, making sure everything can connect. And so I'll get all that connected. I turn on my mix board here. So yeah, again, guys, I will go over everything of what my podcast setup was and everything like that. A lot of it was just built from Amazon, guys, just basic setup. The most expensive stuff was obviously the camera equipment, the recording equipment, but just to build the room, wasn't too bad. So yeah, let me go ahead and get everything set up, and then we'll start recording. So let me, like I said, let me finish it up, guys. Let's get into it. Let's go. All right, guys, here we are inside the Crease podcast. Welcome back, guys. This is Sean from Fast Break Lax, and I appreciate you guys tuning in. I know it's been a while since I put one of these out. If you're watching the video, guys, I'm just doing it off a single camera instead of like all my angles because I don't have anybody across from me. So on the audio, sorry guys, I have a fan in the background. It is really hot in this garage right now. I'm still waiting to figure out the whole AC unit and everything on that for the garage. So sorry if it's a loud background, but man, lots to talk about. I guess I'm trying to, like I said, I'm going to put this video out just for everybody that is new who doesn't really know me. If you guys just started following me or this is your first time on the Inside the Crease podcast, pretty much I have an apparel company called Fast Break Lax, and I'll get into how everything started and all that kind of stuff, but this is just for everybody that's just joining us. I have an apparel company, which that's how I started off, and then I started kind of getting into the YouTube, and now I have the whole podcast, which I've just been honored, and it's been a privilege to do it. Like it's been an honor to do it. All the great feedback from everybody, and all the great guests that I had come on from Shane, Eric, and then I have so much more lined up now. And that's why I'm getting, like I said, that's why I'm getting into this, guys. I'm going to be putting this out because I do have a lineup with more people coming to the podcast now. Now it's summertime. People are free. So I'm trying to get this all set up now to get everything going. So, let's get into getting to know me, guys. So I'm Sean from Fast Break. I was born in California. I am 33 years old. And how I started lacrosse, that's kind of how I always ask my guests and everything, how they got into lacrosse. So I'll kind of start off with that. Back in middle school, we have a school out here, Mulaski Middle School. That's where we started. We're a big group of my friends, and I were all going because our newer school was being built, and that we were all zoned for that. So we went to Mulaski, and we started there. I don't even remember how it came about. It was probably an announcement or something about lacrosse tryouts or something like that. I don't know what got me into it or who told me let's go do it or whatever, if I just saw my friends do it. I don't remember that part, but that's where we all started. It was obviously all new to everybody. It was new in Las Vegas. It wasn't really big, and it was starting to go from there. So, I think we did one season with Mulaski, and then Leavitt Middle School opened up, and we transferred over there, where I started playing defense, looking back now, I wish I was always playing defense, but obviously from middle school when I was playing defense, I transferred to high school and transferred over to midfield. I don't know what was the transition, why I did that, but so all through middle school I played defense through the All-Stars and everything like that, which was awesome. Enjoyed it. And then, like I said, when I got up to high school, freshman coming into high school on a varsity team, they didn't want me on defense. They wanted to put me at midfield. So I was going with the punch. I wanted to play, so I said, okay, I'll play some midfield. So that's how I started off playing midfield. And ever since then, that's when I played midfield all through high school, a bunch of tournaments and everything. And then after high school, I kind of just put the sticks down and focused on more riding and everything like that. My background was more racing dirt bikes, motocross, arena cross with my family. We all traveled and raced with that. So during the lacrosse season, I was also racing at the same time. I remember getting in trouble for that too one time. I think it was in middle school. The coach told me, he was like, hey man, like you got to choose one or the other. And I was just, I'm going to do both. Like I said, motocross was in the family. That's what we grew up doing. Lacrosse was just something that popped up. I wanted to try it out, and I just grew love for the sport, man. I mean, it was something that was cool, and obviously getting to know more of the sport, playing it through high school and stuff, you start growing into it more. So I love that. But so after high school, I graduated 2008. Yeah, I know some of you youngsters are probably like, wow, man. I mean, I'm not that old, but my body is old. That racing dirt bikes and stuff took a toll on my body for sure. So yeah, after high school, put it down. Maybe, jeez. And I'm after high school, guys. I didn't just say, all right, I'm done with lacrosse. Screw it. I don't want everyone to see a game or anything like that. I still went to games and watched it and supported it and did all that stuff. I just never picked up a stick again. I just didn't see myself going anywhere with it. So put that down and yeah, kind of handed everything over to my little brother, and he kind of played, and I watched a couple of his games for the seasons. And then, God, it had to be a good 6, 7, 8 years of a gap before. No, yeah, it had to be more than that. Yeah, it's probably about 8 or 9 years later after graduating high school. I went to my nephew's tournament. He got into lacrosse. I kind of was seeing him play a lot not growing up. He got into lacrosse, and I went to one of his tournaments. And this was my first time going to go see a lacrosse game in years, like I said, about 9 years. And I really haven't heard much of it. Didn't really follow too much more lacrosse after high school. And then, I went to his tournament out here in Las Vegas, and it was just like 10-year-olds. So they were playing like sideline to sideline. It wasn't their whole field or anything like that. And just showed up and just saw how many more people were like involved in lacrosse, like how many teams there was just for 10-year-olds. Because I remember growing up through the middle school and high school, it was so hard to even get teams. By like middle school, or by the time I got into high school, I think sophomore year, then it was like starting to grow more and more. But to see how many people were at this tournament and just all these young kids, man, I was just like, oh my God, like it has grown so much out here. And that kind of like motivated me to get back, because I saw a lot of friends there at that tournament, and I was just kind of like, man, okay, I mean, I missed this. Like, I didn't know it was this big. Let me see if I can get back into it. And then, so probably about a couple weeks after that, I went to either Dick's or Big Five. I can't remember, but I just went and got one of the beginner sticks. It was like a little Warrior Burn shaft, and I didn't have a head. I was asking around. Obviously, we all know lacrosse equipment and stuff is expensive, and I just didn't have the money at the time. And I was asking all my friends, reaching back out to everybody. And I was just like, hey, does anybody have any old gear or anything I could hand over? Like, are you guys still playing around? Like, what's going on? And a couple of them were telling me how they have men's pickup, and then how were playing in men's pickup in box right now. And I was like, crap, all right, let me try it out. I mean, obviously, I didn't want to come back and start playing box right away. I wanted to at least get out in the field, have some open space, and kind of get the feel for it again. But I went to the sports park where we played our box games, and they actually had a lacrosse store in there, and I know my buddy Brandon was in there. And it's been so long since I've seen him, and everybody told me to just go hit him up to see if he had anything at the store, and he actually did get me some handovers, some elbows. I think I had the gloves, but yeah, elbows, chest, and all that kind of stuff. And then he actually sold me one of the heads. I can't remember what it was. It was a high school spec, though, so that's what I was used to, and I missed that. Definitely a high school spec all strung up. I'm not a stringer at all, so I just played with it how it was. And I had, a helmet. I think it was a C Pro, and just elbows. Yeah, just your normal gear, obviously. And I jumped on the field, and to see all my boys that were still playing or that stuck with it from high school, oh my God, it was just a 9-day difference to see the sport of lacrosse like at a higher level now, and to see how good they were still passing the rock and just shooting and everything. And I'm just out here just like almost like starting all over again. Because like I said, it's been about nine years since I even picked up a stick since high school. And I just was like, man, all right, well, let's get into it. So I'm just playing easy. And obviously I still know how to throw, catch, and kind of do all that kind of stuff. But I still had to get some time to get used to everything. So, so after that, I just started jumping into more games more. And then ULAX came, and played the first season of ULAX, and I think I started Fast Break before ULAX. I can't remember, but so that had to be beginning of 2018 is when I started playing box lacrosse again. Well, not playing box lacrosse again. I didn't play box before, but I was playing box with the boys to get back into lacrosse. And so that had to be early 2018, and then I'd say mid of 2018 is when I started coming up with stuff like how do I keep growing in lacrosse and keep going from there. I was like, man, just what about an apparel company? Not thinking, obviously I didn't know anything about apparel. And if you guys are tuning in on video, I'm sorry guys, my LEDs sign is not turned on. Like I said, I switched over to the single camera just for this one. So when I have that sign on, it's flickering the screen on my camera. So I just turned it off, but obviously you can still see it. And again, I'm sorry, guys, if you guys are just tuning into, like if this is your first time on the Inside the Crease podcast or Fast Break Lax or anything like that, I do these podcasts for Inside the Crease, and they get uploaded video-wise when I have a guest and everything, and obviously right now to YouTube, and then you can also just stream it on Spotify, so go check that out, guys. But yeah, so where was I? Mid-2018 is, I think, is when I started thinking to myself, like, sorry, just get my water. But I started thinking to myself, like, man, how do I keep growing into lacrosse and keep going from here? And I don't know what it was. I didn't want to get into the head game, the stick game, or anything like that. I was just like, and it's funny too, because like when I came back looking for like lacrosse gear and all that kind of stuff, and I Googled it. So guys, remember, I graduated in 2008. Didn't really do anything with it after that. So back in 2008, all I remember is Warrior, Brine, STX. I think there was, it had maybe a couple other ones, but not much how it is now. And then obviously 9-10 years later, I Googled lacrosse and everything, and then there's got all these new brands showing up, like String King and or maybe String King was around, I don't remember, but like East Coast Dyes and Signature, and I'm just like, what the heck is this East Coast Dyes? And I'm just seeing like how like highly rated East Coast Dyes and stuff was, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on? Lacrosse has changed for me. Getting some water there, but yeah, so I Googled it. I'm just like, man, this game has definitely changed a lot for sure. And but like I said, so starting the fast break, I was like, yeah, okay, what can I do? So I thought of apparel, and I was like, okay, I'll start it off with shirts and doing all that kind of stuff to see if I could grow from it, and to see if it'll help. Like I could go to tournaments and everything and start doing that. But then I had to come up with a name, and I was just like, what is something good in lacrosse that kind of makes you feel like out on top or anything? I'm just going through all these different terms and stuff, and I'm just like fast break. I was like, okay, I like that. That's something. And I was going back and forth, and then I was just like, I had to stick with Fast Break Lax. I was like, if obviously we all know what a fast break is. If you don't know what a fast break is, I'm probably not going to explain it the best, but obviously in transition, if one of the midfielders or defenders or whatever is obviously crossing the midfield line into the other. See, I'm not going to be able to explain it good, but it's just like, if you're a man up crossing over that midfield and like you're leading the pack running down the field and everybody else is behind you, like you're coming up man up into the possession side of the field, that's a fast break. So I was thinking about the fast break sign, or fast break, and I was like, what makes you feel like you're out? So I was like, Fast Break Lax, Fast Break Lacrosse, and I was messing with it, and I was just like, all right, that sounds pretty good. So we stuck with that. And yeah, like I said, I didn't know anything about apparel, obviously. Oops, excuse me. So I'm just like Googling blank shirts and this and that. And I kind of came across a brand, and I went to a print company and I asked them, I was just like, hey, I'm like trying to start a print company or apparel company, and I see you guys do printing and everything like that. Can you lead me in the great direction of shirts and everything? And obviously they were going through the different shirts and brands and prices and everything like that. And I'm just like, well, I'm starting out, so let me kind of just start here. And they didn't tell me anything like, hey, these are like just meant for teens or anything like that. So I'm ordering all these shirts, and they're all like teen size shirts. Like they still fit, but just not as proper as an adult size, you know? So it's like if you got a medium, it was just a little bit smaller than a medium. Obviously wasn't a small, but it was just, they're tight fitting for sure. And yeah, I didn't know anything of it, and it was just a thick material too. I wasn't too happy with it, but yeah, so I started from there, and then yeah, I got a couple snapback hats and everything, and then all of a sudden I see, obviously this was when I was starting to grow the company, and then I'm seeing LaxCon pop up on my Instagram feed. I'm like, well, LaxCon's a lacrosse convention. I was like, oh cool, that would be cool to go to, and set up my booth and everything there. So that was I think I was in like closer to like October of 2018, and LaxCon was January of 2019. So I'm rushing to try to get a little bit more merch. I think I only had 2 or 3 different shirts, like logos or anything like that. I think I had 1 men's, 1 women's, and yeah, maybe it was 4. I think it was 2 men's shirts and 2 women's shirts, and then maybe a sweatshirt, and then snapback hats. And then I had a spin wheel and everything for the lacrosse convention. And but yeah, so getting into that, so yeah, probably had 2 to 3 months kind of prepared to get all my stuff ready. And I was all on a budget, guys. I didn't have much. So I'm packing everything and Googling prices and everything. And I was just like, man, I don't think I'm going to be able to do this by myself. So I called up my older brother and I was just like, hey, I'm going to head to Philadelphia for this lacrosse convention and set up a booth and try to sell some merch and kind of grow my company down to go with me. And he said, absolutely. So I flew him out from Texas and I flew out from Vegas. And funny, so I didn't realize this, but it's a lot cheaper to do like 5 big duffel bags checked in on an airplane than it is to ship everything. I mean, obviously it depends on what you have, but I just had clothes, so everything was light and just small. I could put in small bags. So I had like these big, almost like lacrosse duffel bags. I had like 5 of them, checked them in on the airplane. So I'm going up to the airport and those big old carts are just stacks of bags, just like, I'm going to Philadelphia. So I checked everything in. I get to my gate, and obviously in Las Vegas, there's gambling machines and stuff like that. So I was just like, I got an hour to spare. Let me go chill. Sat down on a Keno machine. I'm just playing six numbers, I think it is. So 6 spot, and I hit a 6 out of 6. And in the airports, it was only $1,000. Only 1,000. That's a lot of money, but $1,000, so I didn't have to do like all the taxes and stuff. I was like, oh shit, man, this is gonna be a cool weekend. I'm down for sure. And obviously, on that time that's going, I'm not paying attention to my flight. I got my headphones on, and I don't see on the other side of the machine where my gate is, so I don't know what's going on. I'm just enjoying it. I was into it for like a good 30 minutes or so before I actually hit. And then after I got my money paid out and everything, went over to the gate. Nobody was there. I'm like, what the heck is going on? And then I went over to the counter. I'm like, did this flight take off already? And she goes, no, they moved over to another gate on the other side of the airport. And I'm just like, oh my God. And this is they're boarding. Like it's time to take off. So I'm running across the airport to the other side of the gate, and I didn't make it. So yeah, unfortunately I missed that flight with all my bags and everything checked on it. So now I'm in a panic mood, like, oh my God, a flight just took off with all my merch and everything to Philadelphia, and I don't know what's going to happen when it gets there, because I'm not going to be at the little baggage claim circle when it's spinning around and someone could just walk off with all my stuff. So I'm just like panicking. I'm Googling like next flights to get out of here and this and that. And then the only flight I found next was like another hour away. And going on this time too, like my original flight was supposed to land. I was supposed to get everything, go to the hotel, and my brother was going to land later that day, and then just Uber to the hotel and meet me there. So now I'm on a scramble to get a flight, and I found I think it was American Airlines, and we all know American Airlines. That flight is expensive, especially last minute. So all that $1,000 I just won, just had to pay for a $600 one-way ticket from Vegas to Philadelphia, and it was the last seat they had. No, it wasn't last. I think they had three seats left, and I was just like, I had to take it. But thankfully, I hit that money. But again, if I wasn't doing the gambling, then I probably would have stayed at the gate and I would have made my flight. So I get it, but I already paid a round trip for that previous flight, so I already had a flight for the way back. So by the time I landed, my brother was maybe 30 minutes behind me, but I landed. And I'm just rushing over to the terminal, or not the terminal, the baggage claim of where my original bags were going to be. And I get there, and thankfully they're still there. I'm just like, oh my God, they were sitting there at the airport probably for a good 2 hours before I even saw them. So I'm just like, oh, thank God. And then my brother lands and load everything up and get to the hotel. And then we run over to the actual venue at the convention center in Philadelphia, just to take a look at the booth space and everything. And it's just a little 10 by 10, and all they give you is a single table with 2 chairs. And I'm just like, and I had this in my head already, but this is how like unprepared, just winging it, going for it. So we got there, and yeah, saw everything that I had, and I was just like, I need to hang these shirts. Obviously in my head I already knew what I wanted to do, so we went to Walmart. And I paid for one of those easy pop-ups tents, and I put that over my booth so I could just hang. And I got clothes hangers, and I just hung them all the way around the tent just so they could display. Like I said, if you're watching the video, I'll post a picture of that like right here or something so you could see it. But like I said, and I think I had a spin wheel. I had a couple prizes. Going back to the East Coast diet. So after I was building my company, I obviously started getting used to who's all the new companies and who's top dog and doing all that kind of stuff. I actually reached out to Greg and I was just like, "Hey, Greg, I'm gonna be at the LaxCon. It's my first time. I'm an apparel company. This and that, blah blah blah." And we were kind of going back and forth, and I was just like, "Do you mind if I pay for a head or anything like that to do?" A raffle if you could string it up for me, like, so at my booth people come spin the wheel, if you get a ticket, whatever, you raffle to win that. Or I think it was like if you bought a merch you got a ticket to enter in that. But yeah, he strung, I had a full-on strong head. I don't even remember what head it was. It had to be like the Mirage, or maybe I don't even know I'm trying to think of what it was, but it was the way he strung it, and the colors and everything was just so fire. So I had that hanging at my booth. I think I went to Dick's and purchased a full, complete lacrosse stick. I just wanted to get a bunch of different raffle prizes to do. And then so the very last day, I had everybody standing around the booth and just kind of did that raffle. But building it from there, like I said, going from how much stuff I had and how much people came up to me to buy and purchase merchandise and everything for me was just amazing. Like I had I went with 5 bags and had like 2 bags to come home with, mostly hats and stuff, because the shirts and stuff, I literally just walked around the convention and just started handing them out. I was just like, I do not want to take these back with me. I do not want to take these back with me. So I started handing everything out, which is pretty cool, dude, because it still kind of like promoted me as well. So I'm just kind of handing everything out and just went up to people and say like, hey, you want a free shirt? And, give it to them. So yeah, that was, like I said, January 2019. And then we both flew back home. And yes, I returned the Easy Tent pop-up to Walmart to get my money back. That's just how it was, guys. I'm prepared now. I have my own tent, logos, and all that kind of stuff. Obviously, we'll get into it. I'm still building from when I switched the logo over. But yeah, we both flew home. He went back to Texas, and I went to Vegas. And that's when that whole pandemic started happening. Obviously, as soon as we flew home, maybe a couple days later, he was sicker than a dog. I think he went to the hospital. And then a couple of days after that, I was the one that got sick, and I probably caught it. So I was dead, and not dead. I was sicker than a dog. But yeah, so I believe that was the first time we both got the corona right there. Yeah, we obviously during that time it wasn't as big or known. I guess nobody was really panicking about it or anything like that. So we didn't. I mean, nothing was really going on. And then yeah, it hit us hard, and it didn't really hit us until like hey, we have the corona, like we have COVID right now. Until when it actually started blowing up, like, okay, now they're shutting down businesses and stuff. And then we were both like, remember that time when we flew back from Philadelphia and we were both dead sick? Like, I think we both had it. And it makes sense coming from the East Coast to West Coast, East Coast, whatever, flying in. And yeah, I guess it spread that fast. But yeah, so after that, I got home and I was just bummed because I was just like, man, I'm at that point where I'm just like about to start taking off, and then COVID hit and everything closed down. I was just like, oh my God, here we go. So I pretty much put a pause on it for there. And when I got back, I started getting back into playing lacrosse still. And that's when ULAX came. We had a gentleman out here by the name of Wyatt that reached out to ULAX and said, hey, I would like to bring this to Las Vegas. And he got that going. So thank you to that. And I started playing that in like the first season game. It wasn't the first game, but during that first season, man, it's just, like I said, it changed. The game has changed. Like the checks, I feel like now everybody is just going out there to freaking hurt you. Like half the checks don't even hit the stick or anything like that. It's just wrap checks, hitting anything they can that doesn't have a pad. And I was not happy with that. I cracked ribs. I broke my elbow. I was just like, all right, guys, this is not how I remember lacrosse. I wasn't coming out here to get hurt or injured. I'm 32, 31 years old. And listen, like I said, guys, my body has taken a toll, and this is not on anybody. This is on me. I'm the one that just said, let's go play. I didn't have to. But both my knees need to be replaced. Like I said, my shoulder is completely torn now. I'm beat up, guys. I am completely beat. I'm that guy that is so, so stubborn that I've been to the doctors. I've had the x-rays and everything. And they told me all the surgeries and stuff I need. But I'm that guy that says, no, just keep going until it's done, I mean, if it's not broken, don't fix it. So, but unfortunately, my shoulder does need surgery. I need knee replacements. But, yeah, I still wanted to play. But going out there, I knew I wasn't going to be fast or anything. I'm freaking 6'2", 200 pounds. I'm not going to be a fast guy. But I'm not saying there's not people like that aren't fast, like Jack Hanna. He's, I think, the same height, and that boy's got some speed, and he has some moves for sure. And there's plenty of other people. But, yeah, so going out there, I was just like, I obviously wasn't putting 100% into this. I'm just out here to have fun and play some lacrosse, man. It's like a men's league. Get to enjoy it and hang out with my boys again. So, yeah, just after that, I got so frustrated with lacrosse. I was just like, this is not how I remember the game. I am not interested in playing anymore. If I'm just going to show up just to get hurt, it's not what I want. I run my own install company, and what do I mean by that for my full-time job? Listen, guys, I don't make any money doing any of this lacrosse stuff, the YouTube, the podcast, selling my merch, or anything like that. I just kind of all throw it back in if I do make money. None of this YouTube or anything has ever seen money. It's always my merch, so if I sell that, I just throw it right back into the merch, get more merch for you guys. So I do not make any money from any of this at all. I do have my own full-time job, which I own that company as well. It's a vinyl graphic install company, so like if you see storefronts, all the graphics and all that kind of stuff, that's the stuff I do. I install all that. So excuse me. So, yeah, playing lacrosse and then getting injured, and you're just like, well, I need to wake up to go to work tomorrow, or how am I going to pay my bills? Like, I'm a self-employed. I'm my own person. This is not cool. I'm not trying to play lacrosse just to get hurt and then not have any income coming in. Excuse me, guys. Sip of water. But, yeah, so I was just like, this is not fun. I'm not interested in playing Lax anymore. And then, yeah, so I kind of took a break from playing anymore and kind of I was to myself at that same time, like the whole pandemic put a toll on me. It put a toll on everybody, guys, money-wise. There's obviously no work. Everybody's closed down. Nobody was getting any income, kind of stuff like that. So the whole fast break just took a whole pause. And I was just not interested in it. And I remember trying to sell lacrosse or trying to sell fast break to a couple people, but it never fell through. It wasn't. I don't think I had enough stuff or anything to sell. It was just more like, it could have been one of those things I could have handed it off to somebody and then just said, go roll with it. But I really didn't. At the same time, I was trying to sell it because I didn't want to sell it. I didn't want to see it to go because I still love the game of lacrosse, but I just did not want to play it anymore. But at the same time, I was like, I'm not giving my company away just because I'm not interested in playing lacrosse. So nothing ever fell through, which is totally fine. I wasn't, like I said, it wasn't any deal breaker or anything like that too. If I don't sell it, I'm screwed, or if I do sell it, I'm not screwed. But yeah, so I was going through that whole thing, and then I think the following season, Wyatt, who brought Ulax here, who was managing it, wanted to hand it off, and I told him I'll jump into it and take over Ulax. So I started managing Ulax for 2 seasons. Didn't play in it. Like I said, I was just not interested in playing anymore after being hurt. So it was pretty cool just to manage it, to bring out the speaker and all that kind of stuff. That just have the boys enjoy it, have some music and everything as they're playing. So I got to do that for 2 seasons, and then there came a time where, if you guys are an OG supporter, you know I took a big break for trying to develop a mobile app, social media app, with a business partner of mine during like that whole pandemic thing, which was actually taking off and plenty. Without getting more into that, obviously my business partner moved out of state, and we kind of just lost connection. We still talk today, but it was just for the whole app situation, we just kind of separated from that. So I'm not saying the app was bad or anything like that. The app was, I think, would have take off, but we just didn't have that background knowledge, and it just, at the same time, just money crunch and everything at this during that whole pandemic was just like we couldn't throw any more money into it and everything like that. And then, like I said, he moved out of state with his family, and it was just kind of more like we kind of just threw it on the backside. But so with that whole thing, I put Fast Break on a whole break. I didn't do anything. Maybe I posted maybe every once in a while, but not too much. And then, God, what was it? I don't remember what it was. Something put a spark in my ass where I was just like, yo, like if you're gonna take over, like if you're gonna keep running Fast Break, like you got to go all or nothing, So at the same time, I'm just like, No, you know what it was? I think it was the Desert Dogs. I think they announced, because I started doing the YouTube when did I do that? I don't remember when I actually started doing the YouTube, but before the Desert Dogs came, it was the Seals and Colorado Mammoth that played at the Orleans Arena, and I did a whole... All right, sorry about that, guys. Getting back into it. My camera, I guess, only would like to run for 30 minutes before it takes its break, so that was 30 minutes. So I just had to kind of press record again. But where was I? Yeah, so getting into back into the Fast Break thing, starting that whole YouTube vlog. Like I said, the Seals and Mammoth came to Las Vegas. I guess it was a tester to see if they wanted to put an NLL team in Las Vegas, and which it was. So yeah, I came to that, and I think that was my very first YouTube video vlog, and that's actually where I met Shane from Like Zombie Dies in person for the first time. So that was cool meeting him. And then I think it was after that where I was just like, like, if you're gonna start doing YouTube and all this kind of stuff, like, you gotta be committed. So I was fully committed. That's when I changed the logo to what it is now. I got rid of all my old merch, everything, all the hats, sun hat. I had so much stuff. But if you guys don't know my old logo, it's kind of like how it is now. I'm wearing my Inside the Crease podcast shirt, but if you guys didn't know the old logo, it's kind of exactly the same thing. The only thing that was different in the middle, it was a men's helmet, but now it's a men's and women's face mask, so it's kind of the mixture of both with the women's stick. So that's why I will change it to now. I was like, hey, if I'm going to go all in, like, let's do this right this time and do it right. So I changed the logo, came out with my first simple set of shirts. Obviously, it was just going to be all logo shirts to kind of get my logo back out there, and sweatshirts. And, yeah, that took off. It was amazing to see how much of that sold. And then I started getting more into it, and I started buying, like I said, I have my tent now for tournaments and everything like that, so I could set up my booths. God, I think beginning of this year is when I started the Inside the Crease podcast. Sorry. But yeah, so I'm sorry, I'm going all over the place right now. I don't have anybody really to talk to, so I'm kind of going off the dome. But yeah, so they did that whole Seals and Mammoth at the Orleans, and then, like I said, after that, I kind of told myself, like, yo, let's get into this. So I changed the brand and everything like that. And then, God, maybe a year later, they announced, like, coming in hot with, like, the whole Las Vegas Desert Dogs. They didn't have the name and all that yet, but it was just like, and then NLL is bringing a team to Vegas, and I'm just like, yo, what? So then it started going from there. So it started taking off pretty cool. And then, the Desert Dogs came. This is all during the time I was managing the ULAX league, so they would come out to ULAX and set up a booth to try to sell season tickets for the Desert Dogs, which I actually got to. That's how I got to meet Mark Fine and Jonah and everybody, and from the Desert Dogs, which is how I got there today. So yeah, they came out to ULAX and set up booths like almost every Sunday just to try to sell season tickets, which they did. Great hit on that. And then the season came. I reached back out to Mark, and I was like, yo, Mark, like, if you don't mind, I'm doing this whole YouTube thing for my Fast Break Lacrosse apparel. Like, I'd love to come out and try to just YouTube vlog like the games and stuff, and kind of help promote you guys and stuff like that. And again, guys, I didn't work for them. I wasn't paid from them. This was all free. I don't get paid. Like I said, I don't get paid for any of my YouTube stuff or anything like that. It was just something I wanted to do to kind of help grow myself, and then also better myself at doing video vlogging, because I never had any experience doing videos, photography, any of that kind of stuff, guys. Nothing at all. No editing, anything. Like, if you go back to my very beginning videos, like, everything is just so basic, and it kind of still is now. I don't get too crazy with it. It's more just, let's get everything out for you guys. It's been better. If you watch my videos from the beginning to now, they've been better. So that was cool to actually, and so I reached out to Mark, and I was just like, I want to do my video vloggings. Can I, like, come there? And he hooked me up with Keith, who is Keith. I think he's the head of the marketing and all that kind of stuff. So, they got me a season pass and everything, media badge. So I was able to walk around, do all my video vlog, and obviously a lot of you guys have seen those videos or seen me walking around. And that's where I actually got to meet the head photographer, Candace, which she's actually going to be a guest on here. So that's going to be cool to get her on. So, she showed me, like she's been in obviously in the sport for a while, shooting for. And I'm gonna bring, like I said, I'm gonna bring her on. She's gonna have her own story, and we could listen to all that. So that'll be cool. But yeah, so it was great to just meet everybody, and I can't say thank you enough to everybody there. And that's what started getting me into hanging out, like not hanging out, but getting into knowing more of the Desert Dog players, and that's how I got like in touch with Eric Turner and everybody. Everybody's cool on there. Like, I don't even want to start naming players because the whole team is just very welcoming. Is definitely a word. Coach Willie for sure, definitely an awesome, amazing guy. So it's cool to come from playing the sport to enjoying the sport to trying to get back into playing it to now actually physically talking to like the pro players and hanging out with them and like doing all that kind of stuff, like behind the scenes stuff, like all my YouTube vlogs, you know. So yeah, so again, I appreciate that, all the Desert Dog guys, everybody there, all the employees, everybody there. That was just, it was so welcoming, and I appreciate all that. And I know it was their first season, so everything was kind of haywire, I guess you could say, kind of get everything situated because nobody's done it out here yet. So it was the first time doing that. So that is amazing. Congrats to the Desert Dogs. I'm so proud that they brought that here. That helps Vegas lacrosse grow so much. So yeah, that's cool. But so that kind of got me into doing all this. And like I said, I think the video vlogging started doing that. And then when I was at the Desert Dogs, that's when I kind of started thinking to myself, like, why don't I start doing like video podcasts and stuff, like bring some of these players or managers or owners or company people, whatever, just play anything that has to do with lacrosse to come jump on here and share their stories. And that's what I started to do. Obviously, when I started this, obviously everything's money, guys. Just it's money is kind of how things grow. But yeah, it's funny. Obviously, if you're watching my video, I already told you guys in the beginning of the vlog I was going to do a whole video of my whole podcast room of everything that's going on. But yeah, everything in here is just pretty much the same since my first of the year. The only things I've changed were obviously all the mics and my mixing board and stuff like that, just to kind of get a little bit more professional sounding. Obviously, it probably sounds like crap right now because, like I said, I got the big fan in the background running. But yeah, that is kind of my story of how I got into lacrosse. Started playing lacrosse, and that's how I came up with Fast Break Lacrosse, and then the whole inside the crease from the Desert Dogs, to just thinking to myself, like, how else can I keep growing? So that's my kind of story of how I got everything growing. Yeah, and I'm just very thankful for all your guys' support. I say this, and then you guys are probably like, oh, go here we goes again, but I say this every video, every time, guys. This is not possible without you guys. I didn't even know that orange plug was plugged in. Sorry. Yeah, but this is not possible without you guys. Like, if I have nobody watching this or buying my merch or anything like that, there's no Fast Break Lacrosse. Like, why am I even doing it, you know? But so you guys are very supportive, and I appreciate all you guys. And you guys know all I do is try to give back to you guys. I always do free raffles and giveaways and stuff on my Instagram, and that's what I want to try to start doing for the Inside the Crease podcast too. So anytime there's a guest that comes on, maybe they might bring a prize or something, and we could do a giveaway, help out, you know. So help keep growing the game. Yeah, so yeah, that's how I kind of got into it. So with the upcoming stuff, guys, now, like I said, it's summertime, so there's a lot more guests that are free now. They're not in season, or they're not coaching, or they're not at school, just kind of those things. So I'm going to start lining up more people now. I have more stuff to do in my garage. Obviously, if you watch my videos on YouTube, go watch that. You'll see my vlog and how much of a mess my garage is right now, just from me working on the trucks and the vehicles and all that kind of stuff. And that's why there really was no podcast going on for like the last month or two. But during that whole time, obviously, I'm reaching out to people and saying, like, hey, like, I'd really appreciate, like, have you as a guest on my podcast. And they say, oh, absolutely. You know, so it's like, I have great lineups coming, guys. So I'm pushing for the end of this month, end of June, and into July. Just go with podcasts. I'm going to at least try to get 2 to 3 guests a month for you guys to try to keep more interesting stories. Again, this podcast is all about lacrosse, so the sport of lacrosse. If you're a player, a coach, owner, anything, guys, anything that has to do with the sport of lacrosse, that's who I want on here. So I mean, if you're watching this and you play a big part in lacrosse, message me. I want you on here. I would really love to do this mobile where I could actually fly different places and do it there, because not everybody's going to be in Vegas, guys. Not everybody's going to come here. So again, it's hard to get guests that. So a lot of it is local people, but I still try to get people from out of state and everything as well, if that makes sense, because again, it's if they have no reason to come to Las Vegas, they're not going to come down here just to jump on a podcast. Shane came out all the way from California. He was out of state, but his daughter had a cheer competition out here, so that's what pushed me to try to get it done as fast as possible. I wish I would have done a video of me building this whole thing. This used to actually be my golf simulator where I'm at now, and I tore that whole thing. I didn't tear it all out just for the podcast. I tore that out maybe a month or two before I even thought about doing a podcast. So it all worked out perfect. It's the perfect little area just for doing what I want to do. So, Shane came down for, he messaged me and goes, I see your podcast and I'd like to be a guest on it. I'm coming down, I think, what was it, January or February? And I literally had like a month before he came down to get everything set up. So I'm out there Amazoning it up, got the table from used. I mean, I'll do a whole video of that, so you guys can tune in on that. But so now here we are, guys. Like I said, it's been an honor. I had Shane, I had Eric Turner from the Desert Dogs, and now, like I said, I do have a lineup coming. I'm not going to start naming names. You're going to, guys, if you guys can, go follow Inside the Crease on Instagram. That's where I'm going to start releasing all of the new guests coming up for the month and everything like that. I'm going to try to grow that as well. So this is all just one big, I guess you could say, company. It's all under Fast Break, guys. It's just I wanted a different name for the podcast. I just didn't want it to be, I mean, obviously you could do like the Fast Break or something for a podcast name, but I just didn't want it all too close to it. So came with the Inside the Crease and built that whole thing. So yeah, here we are building this Inside the Crease, and like I said, I have a great lineup that could help me out and help me grow, and hopefully this gets out to you guys, man. My whole goal is to grow the game. I mean, from starting Fast Break and everything like that, if you guys watch my videos or see my Instagram things, if I've made you guys think about lacrosse or said, hey, let me go pick up my stick and get out there and play, or just motivate anybody about lacrosse, that's all I wanted to do. That's the whole reason I started the whole Fast Break Lacrosse, because I wanted to see the game grow. This sport is amazing. I wish it was a lot big. I don't want to say a lot bigger. I mean, it's huge. The sport's huge. It's just not out there like it is on football or baseball or hockey or anything like that. But it is getting there. As you can see, we're growing. We just brought the Desert Dogs to the NLL. The PLL just announced that they're going to have city teams now, so it's getting to where it is. So like I said, guys, if I've ever made you, like I said, feel like picking up a stick, or, man, I remember that time I played lacrosse, or just something about lacrosse, hey, I did my job. That's what I'm here to do. I'm not here to coach anybody or force anybody to do anything. It's just, I don't know. I'm going on and on because I don't, it's been a long journey doing everything that's going on. It's just a lot of hard work that goes into it, a lot of money, a lot of hours, the editing and stuff like that, guys. I know when you guys watch it, you guys just watch like a little 10, 12, 15-minute video. That whole 10, 15, 20-minute video took me 3-4 hours just to even edit it, to put it all together. So, again, guys, this is all just because I love the sport so much, and you guys make it that way. And I'm very appreciative of all of you guys that support me. And, like I said, I want to just keep growing this. And, like I said, I have my tents, I have everything to do tournaments and start traveling and doing all that stuff, guys. It's just at this time I'm trying to build my merch back up to where it was before. So it takes time and money. So bear with me, guys. I'm getting there. But I do have a lot of merch right now, guys. If you guys want to support, obviously, the Inside the Crease podcast, I have these shirts on our website at fblax.com. There's all of our logo shirts and everything on there. I think I still have a couple of my old shirts from way back when that just don't have a logo on it, just words, so that helps out too. I have the sweatshirts, I have the new hats, guys. As you guys could see, like Eric Turner, he reps, it's the same exact hat right here. He loves the hat. I love these hats as well. These are probably my favorite hats right now, but I have some things in the works. As you guys know, I do little by little when I launch things, and if I am about to launch something new or anything like that, I always give one away for free. I give something away for free just, again, to give my thank you to you guys for giving back. Like that whole 1,000 subscribers I just got on Instagram. I just did, I don't even know what it was it $200 for a men and then $200 for women, and then like merch packs and all that kind of stuff. Everything just for lacrosse, just to, like I said, just to say thank you guys. I appreciate all of you guys, man. This is so awesome to even be where I'm at. Yeah, so I appreciate all you guys, man. I think this is where it's going to end. It's not, like I said, it's not a big podcast or anything like that. It's just kind of getting to know who I am and where I'm going right now. But things that are coming up, I'm trying to get to the World's Lacrosse game, guys. I really am on the 21st. I've been reaching out to them, emailing them. I've literally emailed them 6 times. I just have not seen any emails coming back. I reached out to all of my contacts from everybody at the Seals and everything. Is just, there's nothing that's coming back to me. So I'm just, hopefully I could get a media badge or something for that. I think that's going to be an awesome one. I really would like to be there for the 21st of the kicking off the World Games, USA versus Canada, I believe, at Snapdragon Stadium. I went there for the Seals versus Desert Dogs for the first time in NLL season doing that. If you guys haven't seen that video, check that out. What else? Yeah, I got, like I said, merch coming out. Just it's a slow thing, guys. So you'll see me after doing this whole story and talking about how I'm done playing lacrosse and stuff, and here I am signing up for ULAX again and actually start playing again this Sunday. But it's a whole different game this time because now I'm going from midfield just playing straight defense. Like, I'm not going to be the one that's getting beat up anymore. I'm tired of that. I'll promise you that. But, yeah, I love the sport. It's just, again, to me, it's one of those things. I don't care if I go out there and win or lose or score a goal or whatever. It's the smiles, I guess. The smiles under my helmet and everything, and seeing everybody else's face is just, it reminds me of high school. It reminds me of middle school. Like, it just, all the great times. It's like, I want to say it's like just one big family, guys. It really is. But, like, obviously it's a very physical sport. But at the end of the day, when everybody takes off their helmets, it's just smiles and high fives. So that's what's kind of bringing me back. I know I'm kind of overdoing it again. Like I said, I just named all my freaking issues with my body. If you pull out your excuse book, I'm gonna use all those excuses this season for sure. So yeah, you're gonna see me out there, probably looking like the Michelin Man, all freaking braced up and everything. So yeah, hopefully I could hang with him. I haven't done any cardio in probably about a year. Same thing with picking up another stick. Like I said, last year was the last time I even picked up another stick, playing the whole ULAX thing, and after getting hurt, I just put it all back down. And then, yeah, so I guess let's get back into playing. I'm going to be doing the video vlogs for that. Probably have the GoPro running as well. So, yeah, hope you guys enjoyed this one. I hope the audio came out good, and hopefully this camera picked up what it is. I think my next video will probably be just an overview of the podcast studio, so you guys kind of see how I built it and put it all together. And then, like I said, I have ULAX coming up. The first game is this Sunday. I'm going to go out there for sure. I'm going to try to go out there this week. I need to throw with a stick and do something. Like I said, these are all new sticks to me. I just strung them up, and yeah, I have no practice with them or anything. And I have no cardio. I'm so out of shape. So this is going to be interesting, but it should be a funny one. But yeah, like I said, I'm going to try to bring the GoPro out, do video vlogging, and try to keep myself active with lacrosse, keep the merch coming. I don't think I'm gonna be hitting any tournaments soon, guys. Like I said, I'm trying to build my merch up to even be someone that could go on to vendor row with a booth. I don't want to show up again with just what I have right now. It's just not enough for me. I'm trying to do this right this time, and yeah, it's Fast Break's going, guys. Fast Break inside the crease. It's growing, guys, and I appreciate all you guys for the support, and I hope you guys can share everything and help kind of grow this, keep it going. And, yeah, so until next time, guys, thank you so much. And like I said, go follow Inside the Crease on Instagram, and you'll see all the new releases coming. And, I mean, if you follow Fast Break, you're probably going to see it on there as well. Like I said, it's all one big thing, just two different companies. One's a podcast and one's apparel, so yeah, thank you guys. Check out fblax.com. Hit up the Instagram for any updated stuff about Fast Break or where I'm going to be or what I'm going to do. Yeah, so I think the next one, like I said, I'll see you guys at ULAX, and I promise you this: I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna come back from ULAX and be like, all right, guys. Well, that was the last episode of Inside the Crease. I'm done with lacrosse. No, if I get hurt, knock on wood. I don't want to get hurt. Knock on wood for sure. But yeah, I'm just gonna go out there and have fun. I'm not even gonna try to play hard or anything like that. Just play to what I'm capable of, and just try to put smiles on everybody's face. Have the GoPro in everybody's face so nobody's angry. Just enjoy life. So until next time, guys, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. And if you guys don't want to miss out on any future content, please hit that that subscribe button. Let's help grow this YouTube channel. If I could start making money off all this stuff, guys, I promise you I'd quit my full-time day job and move straight to this and just full-time all this. I love doing this. I really do. My fiance sees it all the time. She knows I love this. My daughter, she's picking up sticks. So yeah, thank you guys for this opportunity. Like I said, I hope we could keep growing, and I hope I could transfer over into this full time and start doing more traveling. And yeah, there's a lot of things that are going through my head of what to start filming and what's coming up. This whole PLL season coming up, and then starting next year with the NLL season again. I just have so much more things coming. So stay tuned for that, guys. Like I said, like, subscribe, comment down below, please, if you think there's anybody out there that you would like to see on this podcast. I'll be more than happy to reach out to them and see if we can set something up. So until next time, guys, thank you so much, man. And I love you guys. Thank you.